beautiful Trinidad and Tobago. You can go from having never set foot in a cockpit to your full commercial license. You can do this. Enter the world above with Aerial World Services.
When Nigel decided to open this flying school, I realized he always had a passion for flying. He thought it was out of his reach, and I remember telling him, nothing is out of anybody's reach. Everyone can meet their goal.
My name is Nigel Ramsahai and I'm the Flight Operations Director, and we'd like to welcome you to Aerial World Services. This company was founded about 3 years ago. The dream or the aim of the company was to build a training industry within Trinidad and Tobago, whereby we can attract not only our CARICOM neighbors and people from Latin and South America, but from internationally as well, probably as far off as China, India, and then including all our neighbors.
AWS is accredited by the International Civil Aviation Organization, involving twice-yearly audits. These high standards are important, but so is ensuring that programs are accessible for everyone who wants to learn to fly.
Some of us might think that flying is out of their league or out of their financial league, as we may say, but we try our best to make it affordable for everybody. A lot of us have a passion for flying, and we are here to satisfy that passion.
Since the age of 4, I remembered going to the airport. Back then it was the old Piaco terminal, and my mom used to hold me up in the waving gallery, and I would look at the pilots in the L1011 PWI, and they'll be pressing these buttons and whatnot. And I could have pictured myself in the cockpit from then on, and I knew from that point I wanted to be a pilot and be in control of those big airplanes.
All instructors are trained not just as commercial pilots, but as instructors as well. Their technical qualifications come from various international institutions, but their warmth and supportive teaching style comes from the policies of AWS. In-depth learning takes place when students are nurtured and listened to one-on-one.
Everybody here at Aerial is so friendly and welcoming and warm, I have a good relationship with Nigel and Geeta, they make me feel at home when I come here.
Aerial provides both that warm atmosphere and yet still a high standard of training in a nice warm climate environment. Flying along the north coast in Trinidad, it's one of the most scenic views you could get here, going around the mountains, flying low over the water.
Trinidad is an ideal geographical location for flight training, featuring warm Caribbean weather, safely outside of the hurricane belt. Their training fleet is among the most advanced. In fact, most air forces around the world use it as their basic trainer, including the United States and Australia.
The aircraft we use are currently the Diamond Fleet aircraft, which happens to be the safest aircraft in the world. It's all composite material. Our cockpits are all glass cockpits.
Most flight schools do not give you that glass cockpit time, and it's a big benefit when you have to fly in an airline, because most airliners are going glass and G1000 at this point in time. So if you come to train here, it will be an asset to have flight hours with G1000. So when you do get into the airlines or you do get an interview with them, you are familiar. You go into a familiar cockpit.
Graduates of Aerial World Services with a commercial pilot's license are employable internationally, and that can be achieved for both fixed wing and rotary wing. AWS is committed to making dreams happen. Payment plans are available, and so is flexible scheduling.
The school is open Sunday to Sunday, 24/7, and there's always an instructor here for you to be one-on-one with.
We try to build programs for each individual students to get them to the point of where they want to go in as safe and efficient a manner as possible.
We're really good at providing that environment that makes students enjoy learning and flying.
I trust my instructor a whole lot. because, you know, he knows what he's doing. He is qualified and he has experience.
When I send a student solo, it's like a father sending a son or daughter out on this risky task. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but you feel proud while they go out there and they could handle this aircraft on their own.
Doing your first solo commanding that aircraft for the first time, it's always the best feeling for a young pilot. So even though 30 years, 40 years into that pilot's career, you'll always look back at that day as being the best moment in his life.
Being in the air is it's so calming. It's a nice, relaxing feeling. For me, it gives me a peace of mind.
Think back to when you first wanted to fly, to the first time you thought about being up there with the clouds. Don't make excuses. Don't tell yourself you can't afford it or that you're too busy. We want to help you get up there. It's time to soar. Enter the world above with Aerial World Services.